The second product we're going to talk about is Low-E Housewrap. Low-E Housewrap is an ICC-approved, standalone, insulated housewrap. It works in the same way as Low-E Thermosheet, except for your walls instead of your roof. Behind hollow-back vinyl siding, Low-E Housewrap adds R4 to your wall assembly. For the best way to relate to how our Low-E Housewrap works, let's talk about Low-E windows. Everybody has heard of Low-E windows, but does anybody really know what they are or why you need them? The E in Low-E windows, just like Low-E insulation, stands for emissivity. There are two things that make Low-E windows different from regular non-Low-E windows. First, when Low-E windows are cooling and still in a molten state, 6 different metals are sputter-coated to the window. Among these metals is aluminum. The purpose of the sputter coating is to reflect radiant heat. Second, between the 2 panes of glass of a Low-E window, a small hole is punched in the seal and argon gas is injected. Argon is denser than oxygen, and therefore it slows down the transfer of radiant heat. It's often said that replacing your windows with Low-E windows can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling costs. Yet windows only make up about 15% of the average home's wall space. So the question is, if you're going to Low-E your windows, why not Low-E your entire wall? Take a look at this picture. This house is somewhere in Pennsylvania. Notice how prominently the studs in the wall system show through the siding of the house. This is known as thermal bridging. Mass insulation in a wall system is stuffed into the cavities between the studs of your wall. But where there is no insulation, all of the heat in your house conducts right through those 2x4 studs, which make up about 20 to 25% of your walls. That means that up to 1/4 of your wall system is uninsulated. In the summer, think of how much heat you gain through those studs. Conversely, think of how much heat you lose in the winter. Much like Low-E Thermosheet on the roof, Low-E Housewrap provides a thermal break to your walls. This stops the thermal bridging process and helps keep all that heat from entering or exiting your home. And again, just like Low-E Thermosheet, Low-E Housewrap is also a sound deadener that can help to make your home quieter. Now, instead of having a house wrap that only serves as a weatherization barrier, you can have one that serves as a weatherization barrier and insulation, while also keeping your home quieter. Isn't it time your house wrap did more? One more great thing about Low-E Housewrap is how easy it is to install. It installs much like any traditional house wrap, with one key difference that doubles as another bonus feature of the product. With Low-E Housewrap, the overlap is built in. With most traditional house wraps, you lose 10% or more of the product in overlaps. Low-E Housewrap has a 2-inch foil flange that runs the length of the roll and acts as the overlap, meaning you get full 5-square coverage from every roll. Here is a short Low-E Housewrap install video.
How to install Low-E Housewrap, an insulated ICC-approved standalone housewrap. ESP Low-E Housewrap is installed over exterior wall sheathing prior to or after the installation of windows or doors. If windows and doors have been installed, the Low-E Housewrap must be trimmed as close to the windows and door openings as possible and sealed with Low-E seam tape. Low-E Housewrap rolls should be placed approximately 6 inches from the start of a corner and fastened to the sheathing with corrosion-resistant nails having minimum 1-inch diameter plastic heads or corrosion-resistant staples having minimum 1-inch crowns. Fasteners must be placed a maximum of 16 inches on center both vertically and horizontally. Low-E Housewrap must be installed with the foil facing out, visible to the exterior. There are 2.5-inch foil flanges for horizontal seams on one end of each roll of Low-E Housewrap. Upper courses are to overlap lower courses in a shingle-like manner. For vertical seams, butt foam edges of 2 rolls and tape the seam. All vertical and horizontal flange seams should be taped with Low-E seam tape. Any areas of Low-E Housewrap that have been slightly damaged or compromised during installation can also be patched with Low-E seam tape. Please refer to window and door manufacturers' suggested installation tips for installing Low-E Housewrap over framed openings. When Low-E Housewrap is used over foam sheathing, it must be attached with roofing nails or approved fasteners whose length exceeds the foam thickness by a minimum of 1/2 inch.